Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Allison. I post 2 videos a week, and today I'm going to talk about how I went from really skinny to growing, I would say, a decent sized booty. And yeah, so this is basically a video on how to grow your glutes if you're naturally really skinny, and really just for anyone, but I guess that was my experience. I was going from like really skinny, and I'll insert a photo as well. So I went from that to this. So yeah, if you want to know how I went from those 2 extremes, then just keep watching. So first off, obviously, I'm not a dietitian, I'm not like a trainer, I'm not an expert, but this is just, the tips that helped me. But yeah, I just want to say that because I don't want anyone to think like I'm certified in any kind of way, because I'm not. So of course, like, check with a doctor if you have any concerns, or yeah, just do what feels right for your body. This is just, once again, just my experience. So if you are anywhere similar to where I'm at, this could be helpful to you. And I really do think it is kind of just universal, general stuff. So yeah, I just want to say that though. I know I started out saying how I went from like really skinny, and I don't want to like in any way insinuate that that's not desirable as well, because I was bullied a lot for being really skinny. I get it. Like, yeah, it's not fun when you don't want to look that way. You don't really have a control over it. So it's hard. But yeah, I just want to say, like, you should love yourself first. And, you're obviously on this video because you do want to get some gains and gain a little bit more weight. But I just want to say that being skinny is beautiful too. And you should really love each step in the journey, because yeah, you have to have that self-love within first, I think, in order to really just get you to the next level. And that's just my thoughts on it, because like, yeah, you can gain the weight and you can do all this, but it's not going to change how you feel, because no matter where you're at in your journey, you're going to always want to get to that next step, and you're going to always feel like you're not where you want to be. So it is really like a mindset shift that you have to kind of just like appreciate each step that you're in. Yeah, I just feel like that's important to throw in there also. But that's enough of all that. Now I'll get into really how I started my journey and how it brought me to where I'm at now. First, I want to say diet is really important, and making sure that you're eating enough calories. That was something I definitely didn't do, and I would try to supplement getting more calories by eating junk food, like going out to McDonald's, or just like, I don't know, eating a bunch of pasta, just a bunch of empty carbs. That isn't the way to grow glutes. It's not like all that's gonna do is just give you cellulite, honestly, and it's not gonna help you in the end for where you actually wanna get. In order to get muscle, you really do have to fuel from the inside first. So for me, it was really important to make sure I had enough like macro and micronutrients, enough vitamins, enough minerals, healthy fats, proteins, good carbs, because carbs aren't bad, but you just have to make sure that you're eating them in the right portions and that kind of thing. So yeah, making sure that you're getting all of the food groups and proteins. I don't know if I said that, but proteins are very important. So yeah, something that I started doing was, for me, protein shakes is a huge thing, because it was hard for me in the beginning to get enough calories. So after a workout, I would always have a protein shake. I would have just whatever protein mix you want to use. For me, I prefer a more vegan option, so I would do a pea protein. I'm not a huge fan of the soy or whey. It's just, I don't know, pea protein just worked the best for me. So yeah, I did the pea protein, and I would do like chocolate powder, just mix some frozen fruits. I would always throw in spinach, because that's a good way to just get your micronutrients, and it really doesn't taste like anything if you add enough like strawberries and bananas to the actual smoothie, or whatever fruit you're using. But yeah, I think that's a great way to get in protein, and to do it right after a workout is perfect because you're just fueling up the muscles that you just worked out, so they are getting all of the appropriate fats and nutrients that's needed. On that note of protein shakes, another good way to get in essential vitamins and micronutrients is to add flax seeds, chia seeds, wheatgrass, really any one of those additives that you want to add on top. That really helps you too, because actually flax seeds I think are the best, and that's personally what I do. So flax seeds have magnesium in them, and magnesium is really good for growing glutes, because I wrote a note about this. Honestly, I am not, like I said, a dietitian, but magnesium is involved in energy production and muscle contraction. So yeah, it helps you to get your muscles going and give you that extra boost of energy. And then the muscle contraction, they have to contract and expand in order to grow. So I think that's just a great way to just add just that extra boost to whatever it is that you're eating. It could be like on cereal, and it really doesn't taste like anything. Like I said earlier, magnesium is really important. So are B vitamins and omega-3s. And a good way to get that in is like salmon, avocado, beans are another really good way, through like lentils, mung beans, or really any kind of bean, chickpeas. There's so many different types, but yeah, those have typically a pretty high protein intake as well, along with those micronutrients. So beans are a great alternative if you don't like meat. Either way, whatever diet you're on, I think just making sure, not necessarily that you're tracking, because that's not something I did, but just making sure that I was having a variety of foods in my diet. And another thing, I know I've talked about this before on my channel, but not drinking, I feel like is a huge way that I was able to grow my glutes. One, because it just like gave me the motivation to want to go to the gym more, because once you replace one bad habit with another, I feel like, well, not another bad habit, a good habit, then you become addicted to it. And I became addicted to the gym. So I don't know if you drink or don't, that's your choice, but I just feel like cutting it out really helped with my fitness goals in general, because of the fact that it made me more motivated, and it just made my body look more fit, in the sense that I was losing inches off my waist, but was still able to grow my glutes. I think cutting out alcohol is a good way to do that, because yeah, you're just gonna get rid of those unwanted calories, and then you can put the rest of the calories into your glutes like you want, and that's what we're all after. And also another huge thing is staying hydrated. I make sure to drink, I would say I would try to drink a gallon a day, but that's not exactly feasible for some people, and just seems like really a daunting task. It's just a lot. If you go from not really drinking water to that, it seems impossible. Like, so do what is possible for you based on where you're at with your current water intake. But for me, I've always drank a lot of water, so I really just kind of doubled what I was already doing, and that's just like, it kicked a lot of cravings, got out a lot of that whole like wanting to eat processed foods, and just helped me to, yeah, just really stay on track with my motivation and with my dietary, I was gonna say restrictions, but I don't believe in restricting, just my dietary needs. Okay, so next I want to talk about exercise, and obviously this is another huge role in growing your glutes. You got to make sure you're working out, and you got to make sure you're doing the right types of workouts that are going to benefit you for what your goal is. So for me, because I was, starting out really thin, I was probably doing more cardio than I needed in order to reach my goal before I, set this goal and started this journey. So once I got on the journey and realized what my goal weight was, I figured out, obviously I have to stop running as much, and I didn't cut it out altogether. I still love running. That's still a huge part of my workouts, but I just cut back my cardio. And when I do cardio, I like to do more like jumping squats and more like high intensity interval training, because I feel like that also helps like target your muscle groups and you're still kind of burning calories at the same time. So I feel like it's the best of both worlds in that sense, but you kind of just have to play around with what works for you and what your starting weight is at. So if you're starting like me and we're a little bit skinnier to begin with, just naturally, I would definitely recommend like high interval intensity workouts, because yeah, just like I said, I feel like that just kind of is the best of both. Also, I feel like making sure that you're adding weight to your strength training. So for instance, if you're doing kickbacks, add some ankle weights to that. Or if you're doing hip thrusts, make sure that once you're comfortable and proficient at a certain weight level, make sure to keep increasing that and go up in weight, because that was a mistake I made for a while. I used to just like, I'd be like, okay, I can do 40 pounds, and then I would just stay at 40 pounds instead of like, increasing that amount. I wouldn't do it. I think for me, it kind of depends on how often you work out, but now I'm kind of at like every 2 weeks or so, I kind of go up a weight that I'm lifting, because I feel like that is a good amount of time for me. But these are just things you kind of have to play around with based on how comfortable you are and where you're at in your weightlifting experience. Okay, and this next tip is just for women because it's centered around our cycles. So basically, and there's an app that I'll mention, it's called Flow, but basically you can tailor your workouts to where you're at, which phase you're at in the cycle. So yeah, basically that's just gonna help you to prevent burnout and get the most out of your workout. So yeah, it's good to be aware of that and to understand your body, because once you understand your body, you're going to be able to give it what it needs at the time that it needs that. Okay, and then as far as like actual workouts, I'm a big believer that you don't actually need a gym membership or a bunch of ways to be able to get gains. Some of the workouts I started doing in quarantine when the gyms were closed and everything, I was doing step-ups on, I have like this little, it's not professional at all, it's like a little window seat thing, and basically I was just doing step-ups on there, adding a little bit of ankle weights, doing hip thrusts. You can just do them off the couch. Like, there's a lot of creative ways you can look up to just get your workout in, that you don't necessarily have to go somewhere if that's not something you want to do. So yeah, that really helped me. But I do go to the gym, so I do use equipment, and I go to a Planet Fitness though, so it's nothing like it's nothing major. But yeah, I'm not gonna necessarily get into exactly which workouts I do. I think I'll save that for another video, because I want to actually do that at the gym to be able to better explain the machines and stuff. This is just more of like a general overview of what tips helped me the most. So yeah, I really hope that this was helpful, and let me know what videos you'd want to see in the future. And thanks so much for watching. Also, I did just get a new camera. I'm waiting on the SIM card though, so I'm not able to use it today, but the rest of my videos are going to be much better quality. It'll have a microphone, so I won't have to just wear my AirPods, and yeah, hopefully it'll elevate everything. So stay tuned for that. If you liked this, like it. If you liked it, please like it and subscribe. And yeah, thank you again for watching. I will see you in my next one.